So this is the way that I would reharmonize this particular hymn. Okay, you ready? Have no idea what I'm doing. You know me. If I mess up, I mess up. You know how I say it. Okay, so okay, here we go. Same key, E. Glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Ghost, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Amen. Woo! Okay, I'm glad I got that one on video because I'm gonna need to have to practice that one again. That was all freestyle. I did not practice that, so that means I gotta remember that one. So, thank you for listening, tuning in. Again, this is Miss Trina
Thank you, Miss
Trine.
Trina Trine, for that amazing reharmonization of that hymn. And for those of you who don't know, that she does have a DVD out, and I have actually been very supportive of her. I've purchased her DVD and other things that have been produced by the company that works with her and Mike Burrell and Corey Henry and a lot of those guys. So I would definitely suggest you go and purchase their DVDs, see what's in. The reason I purchased them is because I want to see what's in their minds, what is going on. I don't, I'm not necessarily trying to find out what the notes are. I'm trying to find out what are they thinking. And that's the reason that I support them and purchase their DVDs. So if you get a chance, go ahead and check her out. And she went and played the song. What I'm going to do is try to take it further and explain it and try to get inside of the chords and see what's going on here. See if I can figure these out. I have not done the MIDI file yet. I'm doing it backwards today. I'm actually going to try to teach it first and then teach it to you first, learn it, teach it to you, and then I'll figure out the MIDI file later. All right. Okay, so we're gonna learn this song together, chord by chord. You can see in the Logic screen there that it is broken up into sections. So we're gonna do sections by section, and as you can see, there's nothing there. I haven't learned the song yet. No, no MIDI file or anything like that. The whole thing is just all right. The whole thing is just recently put in there. So what we're gonna do is examine these chords, see what they are, and let's go.
Glory be to the Father.
Okay. Love those changes, all while holding the E. All while holding that E. And then she doesn't go down to the E flat until the there. So that's a really, really nice chord change there. We want to grab that. We want to use that. So let's see what it is.
Glory be to the Father.
Yeah, I love that use of the F sharp. I'm hearing that F sharp in there. Da, 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 da. But then there's some dissonance there. So I'm going to have that. Let's do that first set of chords here. Okay, so I have there, and then that's how I'm gonna have those. So that's what I'm gonna have for those chords. So, and again, I'm not gonna put it in the MIDI file yet because what I want to do is I don't know. Maybe I'll either play it with her, or I would like to play this kind of in the rhythm to put a beat in it, and then give you the MIDI file with the kind of a metered tempo in there. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it yet. But right now we're just kind of learning the chords here. So the first chord we have is a. But that B has to be in there. That 11 is what makes that sound. Okay, and now when you do the next chord, the only thing that changes Right now my right hand is doing this, so the only thing that changes in this would be from this A flat to an F sharp there, and G sharp to F sharp. Okay, and then trying to figure out if she was using, now my ear forgot what she was doing, so let me go back. Yeah, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing the E. Glory. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, back to what I was saying. So that's why I was going to. Okay, but I need the B, and I need a D flat in there. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so we'll use this. I don't know if I had the E in there or not, but it needs to be a C sharp, so it'll be this. Okay, now this goes down here, and this goes here. That's the only change. Heard that? Then the next chord. Okay, which is essentially acting as a dominant 7 chord with a flat 9 there. Okay, and then in a sharp 5, the sharp 5 is that. Okay, the sharp 5 being that E, which is the melody. Okay, and then the Father. I don't think she's changing that right hand at that chord, so yeah, I think she's changed. She keeps it there, and then for the there, see that dissonance happening right there, kind of ending on like a 6/9, that C sharp 6/9 there. Okay. Nope. That C. Listen to that C. That C. What it does to the chord. Amazing chord voicings. All right. So that's the first one. Let's do the second one. Dun, dun. So that's what you're hearing, right? Because you're hearing that in the left hand. It sounds like that's the lowest note. Okay, so for these chords, she's definitely using some serious chord clusters. So I think what I should probably do with this particular chord voicing is kind of figure out what I want the quality to be. I'm gonna have the qualities as major 9s here. So having it as a major 9 would mean that the melody on this part would be the 9th note. So it wouldn't be the bass, the major 9, which would mean the bass would be this. So I'm seeing it as a major 9. It's without the 5. Okay, so the major 9. All right, it's saying it as a sus, but I'm just kind of omitting some notes there. So now what I have to do is find out all of those extra notes and voice them in a way that sounds as close to her as possible for those particular chords. Okay, so I would probably do this. Yeah, I'm gonna see. But remember what I said. I'm following what I think is the major 9 sound here. Except I'm thinking we can go, but it had a little bit more dissonance than that, and it could be that this was here, which would give it that dissonant sound. See that? So that could, so it could be this voice. And I think I'll go with this. The sound's more dissonant than this, right? The major sound. Yeah, let's go with a minor. Let's go with a minor. So let's go with minor voicings here, not major voicings. Okay. We'll have that for that. So okay, so let's go on.
To the Father and to the
Ooh. So that is an incredible chord. Sounds like a polychord. It's there. I don't hear one. See, I don't really hear one quality in that chord. What's unique about what's going on there?
and to
See the bass note. If you listen to the bass is not changing there. So the bass that she had prior until the, we're talking about and to the, we're talking about the chord on the, right? Because she's doing the and then on the, it's not changing. That bass note is not changing. So on the left hand, I'm hearing a dominant chord in the left hand, right? And what I think is going on here is that if you notice that these dominant chord, the dominant chords are this A flat tritone also make up notes in a diminished seventh chord. So and then because on the melody line she'd be hitting that B, just completing the that would complete the dominant. So that the polychord would be that she's hitting the diminished chord, which the notes of the dominant chord are notes within the diminished seventh chord. So it would sound like she's got an A flat diminished, or however you want, because diminished is symmetrical anyway. But she's got that diminished chord in her right hand, but in the left hand, she's got a dominant voicing. And then I would add the F sharp in there as well for the ninth to complete the left-handed E7. So that's how I'm gonna voice that.
the Father and to
See that D that you're hearing there? That's the dominant part. Let me see if they voice that as an actual chord. See, they're not voiced, yeah. But as you can see on the first alternate voicing there, it kind of has that E9 F dim there. So that's the kind of how I was thinking of that as a polychord. I want to give you another way to voice this that would be equally nice as well. You can go then, and then you can have a voicing that sounds like this, which is a really nice way to voice this. That melody is still on top. It may be a little easier because in this case, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing an A9 here. Okay, I'm seeing it as an A9, and then I'm adding the C and the F sharp. See, so you see how nice that. But this is root. This is of course rootless, which is probably how I would do it if I were playing it on a keyboard and not without a bass note, because I'm kind of voicing it without a root there because I don't really need the root because of the fact that the melody line, the B is there. So So you see how nice that chord is? There you go. All right, so I had to hit the pause button to hear this next section here. So let us go to the into the Holy Ghost part.
Into the Son, into the Holy Ghost.
All right, so the into the Holy Ghost. Let's do that again so you can hear that.
The Son, into the Holy.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do for that part there. So I'm gonna have her going just basically a perfect fourth there, because what she's doing here is, let me just give you the kind of the meat of it here. That's what she's doing. Right, so that's kind of what it is. But I think the notes in between those B's are, I think what's going on is that, and then I'm hearing for that. So it'll be, we're gonna change it to basically a major chord on that D flat. But if you recall, I said that the basic structure was, see, so she still has that fourth there. So basically you have a fourth here, you have a fourth here, but this chord is supposed to be major. If it were major, it would be like this, but if it were a fourth, it'd be like this. So let's just put them all together. So, okay, and then for the Holy Ghost part, this would be again an E flat chord, right? But leaving in that E in there, I think is giving the dissonance. Okay, so I don't know if you're hearing that. Lot of dissonance, a lot of tension. It's not an easy song to pick up these chords because this is a really I'm not doing a beginner or intermediate video. This is more of an advanced video definitely today. To be able to pick out these chords, and again, I may be, if a note or two is wrong in what I'm doing, it can change the whole quality. So and it could be that there's a note that I'm missing or two, but for the most part, I'm thinking I'm right in terms of where the qualities are with the chords. Right? The D minor major 7 on that. Okay. And then and for the ghost. All right? So hopefully you got those chords. Let us go to the next section here. All right, this is a perfect example of where you can hold one note, and just keep changing the chords. In order to be good at doing that, you kind of have to know, and I'm kind of going off on a rant here, you kind of have to know chords that work with this B. And what I would suggest you do to practice is just kind of go up on the bass note and try to find chords that work with this same note while going up the scale, right? And then just try to find, you know. So just trying to go up the scale, try to find notes that work with this for every single chord, and just all just go all the way up. Just go all the way up the keyboard and try to find a chord. I mean, it's kind of fun, but it'll kind of teach you something, right? Or a. And notice I'm just trying to find chords at work. If I'm going to go to the E, though, it's going to be a sharp 5. So I have to recognize it'll probably be a dumb. See that? It's going to be a sharp 5 I go to that E. And see, I'm just walking up the bass note. Every single, but I'm just walking up the bass note. Still trying to find, still keeping that B on top. Right? And so do you see what I'm doing? Trying to find notes. I'm just trying to find notes that will work with this B on top, but then the bass note keeps moving up by 1. Right? So do you kind of see how I'm trying to do that? All right. So anyway, so that's a nice little exercise you can do to try to figure that out. Now, but because if I have those chords, then I kind of understand what she's doing, because she's kind of holding that melody line while changing those chords, using chords that will work with whatever bass note she's trying to use to get to her target note, which in this song is the D minor 9. Okay, so she chose to do the so you saw how that worked. So let's say that first chord. And then the ghost. Where are we at? Yeah. And this is a really interesting progression, because normally this kind of progression would lead into a E an E9 sound. So it would be right, but she's doing. I gotta make sure to keep that B on top, right? So beautiful progression. Y'all better be stealing. Y'all better start stealing these chords. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're on the very last section. We just heard the world without end, those crazy chords. I just showed you those chords. Now we got that last section. Ooh. that is such a ridiculous progression there. Because of course she's holding that. She's holding that. She's holding. That's the last note. She's holding that last note throughout that progression. Let's just hear it one more time before I break it down here. And I told you that secret chord there. Wow, and she ends on that. All right, so let's see. The world without end. Okay, so I already I discussed that. And then for the amen. Okay, so see how that works? So amen. Have those together, and then the E minor 9, E flat minor 9, and then to the major 9, which gives a sense of resolving. Okay. Right? And then we have this a C9 is a sharp 11 there, and then we have a B. Keep that on the F sharp there and go to like a B major 7 voicing, a B major 9 voicing, and then see that? No, I did something wrong there. Hold on. Yeah, C sharp 11, and then that's how she ends it. Okay, compare it against hers.
Okay, I'm glad I got
that with her again. Oh, I see.
Okay, I'm glad I got that one on video because I'm gonna need to have to practice that one again.
Okay, so that's basically. Now I want to show you can do different versions because I voiced it real open. I voiced it real, real open. Right. But let's say I wanted to bring it in a little bit, and not use such a wide voicing like this. Let's say I just wanted to use fewer notes. So I'm gonna kind of cluster them around this middle C here. So let's do it again. Closing them in to show you how you would voice it. You can just slow down it, okay? Because I don't like wasting time showing you every single note. So just kind of slow down the video and get the chords this way. Okay, so here it is. See that? Right? So that's how I would kind of voice it if I were a little bit, my hands weren't as wide to be able to fit that. Okay, so hopefully you gain from that. That's the breakdown of what she just did. And so hopefully this is helpful to you. Let me know in the comments what you think. And we'll see you later. Go check her out. She's got some really, really nice progressions. Uses a lot of I don't know what's going through her brain when she's thinking of some of the resolves. There's a lot of resolving that she does in the middle of her chord progressions. It would be very helpful for you to kind of examine those and kind of incorporate those into some of your voicings. All right, thanks again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to play this song the whole way through and just go ahead and create the MIDI file here in front of you. I don't know if I've memorized all the chords, so they may not be exact, but I'm going to try to get as close as I can to her original voicings that she had here. So, oh man. Try it again.